like kitty cats, by the way? Because last time you were on here, we were doing a little research, and you didn't like Santa Claus. So, do you like cats?
Let me talk to you, Bulkamaniacs.
Welcome, everybody, to another Raw preview review show. It is I, the guy who brought all of this craziness to one collective area, the Window Lickers. It is I, Joshua Joseph, the voice, here to talk to you, brother, as you heard at the very top of the show, the man himself, the chicken parmesan champion, the couch cushion crippler. He is the bulkster, Terry Haunts. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing great, Josh. Doing great. Been a fun weekend and a lot to digest.
A lot to digest. And we got Chris Best chiming in saying, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Chris Best. And if you caught it this weekend, he was a part of it. He was the whole damn enchilada. He is known as the guy across the border, the guy who we don't ever ask him for his papers when he's here. He is our special guest. He is OMD. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing. I've had a very, very busy week and weekend, coming off of doing the PLE patrol over at Turnbuckle Talk, getting ready for the Raw patrol over at Turnbuckle Talk.
I thought it was
and
studios.
My studio's falling apart.
Studios, it is studios. Yeah. But you know, OMD knows where he's at, and his studio is falling apart as we speak. So that's
just
exciting.
It's because I didn't clean the windows today.
He did not clean the windows, and that is your first mistake. And the light of New York City, the man with the plan who went to Alabama once, and he bought a toad and he licked it and it didn't do anything. He is known as our co-host, our first host that we had here with us on the Window Lickers program, Raw review preview show. He is the one, the only Bubba Duke. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm exhausted, bro. I've been streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 5 days in a row, bro.
5 days in a row, man.
My eyes balls, they hurt. My brain, I did laughed a long time ago. The hamster was like, heck this shit, I am out.
Well, I mean,
on a good
5
note,
days of streaming.
Shit.
5 days of streaming, Bubba.
That's
a record for you, man.
It is a record. I've done 3, 4, 5 is like, and then I had to work today.
He didn't understand reality today. He was clicking buttons, trying to read comments. Wasn't working for him.
No.
And I think you spent a little too much time staring at the sun today.
Ah, yes. We did have a big moment today, didn't we, fellas?
We didn't have nothing here in the Sioux, but
Terry, how was your eclipse?
Yeah.
My eclipse was wonderful. I don't trust it, though. It's shady.
Ooh, there it is. First dad joke of the night. Across the border, fellas, did you guys get a see? Was there much blockage on your guys' end? Or?
I didn't step outside today.
No.
Okay, so it wasn't like this guy had where it was like holy cow, the devil's coming. It dimmed down. Like it got a little dim, and then it was like a red tinge to everything.
Yeah.
But it
yeah.
didn't. We didn't get the full eclipse. But I'm gonna send you gentlemen a picture on our chat. This is the eclipse I got to see today. I took a picture of it.
We can only hope what this is about to be.
Oh, Jesus.
It's clean. It's a dad joke. Totally a dad joke.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we got Chris Best coming in earlier saying his throat is killing him from the weekend, but he's going to push through tonight. And they got about 80% coverage with
What she
it.
said.
We God damn it. This is exactly why we should ban cell phones when we're live on air, because Bubba Duke will always throw you off with a comment in the chat. But we're going to push through, just like Chris Best alluded to, because right after this, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We always raid out to the Raw Patrol. Great friends of ours out there at Turnbuckle Studios. Oh, yeah, you got the Prime up there.
I told you guys I was going to go buy one. So this is Ice Pop. I've never had one before. It does not look edible at all. So
Well, it's not edible. You don't eat it. It's a drink.
almost like paint thinner, to be honest.
Did you take pictures through the glasses? No, Jamie, I did not. I know my kids did. They were all sharing it with their friends. And I can only imagine. Yeah, Bubba Duke is definitely out there. So, fellas, I want to get into this because we all had a pretty, I would say, great time with WrestleMania as a whole, consuming it. Was it my favorite WrestleMania? I'd say no. But was it a great one? Yeah, night 2 really made up for night 1, in my opinion. And the only reason I'm talking about that, and I know there's a little difference, is because night 1 to me felt very rushed. And it was like, we have to get to this tag match and make everybody happy with The Rock coming out and all this. And
Right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that last match was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that last match. But, I mean, I was let down by a lot of other matches. I was also impressed with the Rhea match. Goddamn, Rhea is just a beast, you know? Like,
She is.
she's an impressive specimen for a human being. And I only hope great things for her career. But I know that each one of us have a specific title we'd like to talk about. And you know what? We're going to go with special guest because he's our special guest. So we're about to get some knowledge from the top rope.
Yes.
All right. Can we take a minute and appreciate Bailey? For years, this woman has put the business above her own career. Staying in NXT when the rest of the 4 horsewomen were called up.
Yeah.
She did do it all, and she's persevered through her best friend running away multiple times.
True.
She's adapted with her character changes. She put damage control first and foremost above her own goals. All for it to pay off in the first 3.5 months of this year with the Royal Rumble win and on to now the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yeah.
And this is a huge change in the landscape of the women's division. I'm going to give kudos to Becky Lynch as well for her match on night 1 to open the show with Rhea, because she pulled through that match with strep throat and had a fever of 102 the day before.
She pulled a Jordan.
Yeah. She was dying. Yeah, totally.
So,
but Bailey, thank you.
Yeah. I can't agree more with you. Bulkster, let us know what your thoughts were with what OMD's saying about the Bailey.
It was excellent. I mean, from her entrance to her new music, EO's entrance was awesome too. I mean, the match in general was good. Bailey seemed like she was on top of, this was her time. This is her
Yeah.
moment. She deserves it. Like OMD says, she has sacrificed a lot. She has been humble and stayed, true to the WWE.
Yeah.
And she could have said, "No, I'm gonna leave," just like everybody else. But she got her flowers. She deserved them. And I think, like I said, we're gonna see a big change coming up. As in, and some future big matches from her.
I couldn't agree more with you on that one. I mean, honestly, what you and OMD both said about her sacrifice and everything, she's done phenomenal things. But let's go to one of the finest co-hosts across the nation, Bubba Duke. What are your thoughts on the Bailey win?
Wow.
Yeah.
I honestly, for a minute, didn't think she was going to pull it out.
Yeah.
These two women put on a clinic as far as women's wrestling goes. And if this is like, say, the start of something, holy damn, we're in for some epic women's wrestling. Again, like OMD had said, we got to give a shout out to Becky and Rhea as well. We can't not mention them in this little thing, because if it wasn't for Rhea being as good as she is, that part of the women's title wouldn't mean crap. And again, Bailey, I've liked Bailey since back in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
The hug Bailey when she came out, that killed me, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy a ticket because I just want to get a hug from her now.
No, I know what's in there.
Every character change that she's done is in some way Bailey.
Very true.
Like even heel Bailey is really part of Bailey. It's just the part that she doesn't let anybody see, because she's a nice person. She's a caring person. She likes to give to people. She likes helping people. Like, look, when she was injured, look what she did for WWE back then.
Yeah.
She came on to WrestleMania and basically played the meatball, pulling jokes, having fun, doing that thing, and it made her still relevant even though she wasn't in the ring. So
I completely agree with you on that one.
If I could take my hat off and tip it to Bailey, girl, you earned this, you deserve it, and have as much fun with that title as you can.
Yeah.
Now, where do we see Bailey going from here outside of the inevitable rematch with EO?
Okay.
And I'm going to also suggest the inevitable gauntlet run against the rest of Damage Control.
Well, okay. I like where your head's at, OMD.
Okay.
I'm going to say this. If Bailey ever encounters Bubba Duke in an elevator, we're going to get this.
Just you and me now. I'm going to touch you. All right, dude. What the flip?
So Bailey, watch out. Watch out for yourself when you encounter Bubba Duke. Terry, going off what OMD just posed to us, where is your head at?
Short term, I feel it's going to be quite a feud with Damage Control in general. Io Sky, probably her, possibly a Dakota. We might get a match in there, a big match, because right now Dakota's been kind of like just the bottom fish of that group, I feel. So maybe this will elevate her some, since you have the Asuka and Kyrie as tag champs.
Yeah.
So between Io and Dakota, I think they might, work together to get title shots. But other than that, I can't. Since Bailey's turning heel, I mean, you have some other heel that are coming up and coming in the SmackDown. So you have Candice LeRae doing her thing. We could possibly see, I can't think of. I mean, right now it's it's been damage control kind of controlling everything. So it's going to be interesting on the next SmackDown to see where they go with this and who steps up.
And I can see where you're kind of stumbling to figure out an avenue because it's so wide open right now. Like there's so many avenues that they could branch off to. I like though that where you're going with the Dakota Kai thing. I really think her and Bailey can really bring the roof down if they're put into a good storyline against each other. Who knows what they're going to end up doing? Because I mean, like you were saying, that there's a lot of potential right now in just having Bailey as a champion for stories. And yeah, could you have her go for a long run? Most definitely. You could have her do a long run. You could also have her do a short run and then get it back. And then to me, that kind of gives Bailey like you may beat her down, but she's always going to come back. And, it's like the whole Joe Pesci saying, they come with you with a knife, you come back at them with a bat. They come with you with a bat, you come with a gun. It's like she's very hard to keep down. And I think that's a big testament to what you were saying, what everybody was saying with her willingness to give up herself for the betterment of the company. And Bubba Duke, so where's your head at with Bailey? And then we're going to jump to the next topic.
My head is completely in a different avenue than you guys. We have something very, very special coming up from WWE, the draft.
This is true.
Right? So
Chris Parrish, thank you for joining us. Sorry, Bubba Duke.
No, that's okay. Chris Parrish deserves recognition. But what if we had the draft and had someone from Raw going over to SmackDown, or vice versa? What if she ends up over on? Well, I know they're not going to put Rhea on SmackDown, but you never know. But what if she ends up over there and ends up taking on someone that we don't even have in mind for a title shot yet? Someone like a Jade, maybe.
Jade's on SmackDown.
I know, but I'm just saying, what if Jade goes with her? What if Jade stays there or she stays there? Like, there's so many potential women in both locker rooms that I would be like, hey, Liv Morgan, why not? Right? She's on a roll right now. Why couldn't we? What if we had, let's say, somebody coming back from injury? Possibly tonight? Right? OMD, you stated that last night.
Yes.
There is, like I said, Naomi. We got, why not Natalya? Give Natalya a quick run at the title.
Chris Parrish coming in saying Bailey versus Tiffany Stratton, ?
There you go.
I'm all for it.
And again, this kind of goes right back to what I was saying, that the field is so wide open right now for Bailey and the potential of what could come of this title run. Honestly, I just can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see where they put her, what they do with her, where her whole character's at this point. So now, fam, we're going to go into, I think you know him, I think you love him, and I think you'd fight him for a chicken parm.
You ain't winning that fight.
You ain't winning that fight. He's the champ of the chicken parm. All right. Let's get into this IC title. Who is the champion? Bulkster, let us know about it.
So I decided to choose the IC belt. And it wasn't... I had to think about it for a second, because when we got to choose what we want to choose, I thought about it. Because that first night of Mania, I was not happy with the Sami Zayn winning. I was totally against it. I was like, this is hot garbage. There's nobody can beat Gunther. No one can beat Gunther. I mean, I was just on the Gunther train. I thought about it over the day, and when I finally said that, I said, well, at this point, I am very happy with the result. It took me on a roller coaster of emotion thinking of how this is playing out.
Here we go.
And I first thought it was hot garbage, like I said, but now I think it could be gold because the possibilities for Gunther going forward is endless. He isn't tied down to a belt, so he can take some wins and losses without affecting. And then Sami Zayn, being the holder of the championship, brings out a whole bunch of avenues of awesome matches
Yes.
with smaller guys.
Right?
And I mean, it just mind blows me. I'm like, wow, this. So, like I said, first night one kind of drug me to the last two matches: Sami Zayn, Gunther, and the tag match.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else besides the Becky and thing, everything else. I think the pacing was off. Somehow it was just.
Yeah, to me it felt off too. I can.
So by the time I got to that match, I'm already like, well, Gunther's going to win this thing. There's no way Sami's going to. It's just unbelievable. It's like David and Goliath.
Well, isn't it interesting though that the date of his the amount of time he's had the title where they ended it, 666 days. You're telling me you couldn't have held off till Monday night for him to drop. And before we go into what OMD has thought on this, so Terry, let me get you straight. Were you here before this match?
What in the fuck? Are you dressed up like a bumblebee for? And what do you look like Indianapolis Jones?
So you were at that level before, and then now you've had time to digest it. Now you're okay with it.
Yeah, I am totally on board. And I think of all the matches that we're going to have now with Sami Zayn, fast-paced matches. And I think Sami can do this. I mean, I think Sami deserves it.
Yeah.
I just was
100%.
like, I just took a little bit to go, you know what? Look at the landscape. I was looking short term, like, because my biggest, we all know, I wanted Gunther to face Brock Lesnar, which
we know
it can still happen. It can still happen. It just won't be a title.
For the belt. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Okay. So I mean, Triple H is then he's in your face.
Shake?
The words you're looking for are thank and you. Put them together, they make a nice sound.
So you should be thanking Triple H for what he brought to your table, because I was in the same boat with you, and we're going to jump to what OMD thinks, but I was there with you, Terry, and now I'm right next to you on that roller coaster. We're just riding that Sami Zayn ride. OMD, what were your thoughts?
You know what? I was right there with you. I thought they needed to keep the belt on Gunther to just past the 2-year mark, June 10th. And then you've got Clash at the Castle coming up June 15th, so you could have him drop it there.
Yeah.
To then go to Bash in Berlin in August after SummerSlam and challenge for the world title. But I love it because you've got now Sami Zayn back to that underdog from the underground mentality.
Mm-hmm.
The El Generico versus Kevin Steen from Ring of Honor.
Fuck yeah.
I love it, man.
So I'm there. Sami deserves it. He's put in the time. He's put in the work. Again,
Yeah, I'm there with you, man. I mean, I know exactly where you're coming from with this. It's super exciting to see the potential that Sami Zayn is going to bring to the IC belt with all these matches that we've alluded to already. So, Bubba Duke, I see you're jumping all over there anytime we bring it up. So, what's your opinion, bud?
It's about freaking time he won that title. I'm so pumped for him. I've been a Sami Zayn guy for a long time. Even through his conspiracy, like that stuff was cool. It kept him relevant enough that if they wanted to push him harder, like they did, they can.
Yeah.
As far as Gunther, yeah, that kind of sucks that he ended on the 666. Like, sorry, bro. Sami Zayn just got Zayned, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so happy he got it.
Well, I like where Parrish is going on this one. Does Chad Gable turn on Sammy?
No.
I don't.
I already
I
have an opinion.
honestly, yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think he needs to in this moment. I think this can be your moment in Sami Zayn's run where it's a respected two individuals going at it, just giving the fans a great match. Honestly, to me,
Yep.
Sami Zayn gets over on that one. They go on,
100%.
and then maybe later on, like give them a decent little title run. I'm talking maybe 6 PLEs, maybe even 8, and then end it with Gable turning on him. I think that would be a cool thing. But
Yeah,
that's just-
and then give him that title shot again.
Do have one
anybody else
question.
have input on this one? That
I had one question
No,
that maybe I had one question. Maybe you guys can verify. I didn't watch the indie wrestling. I didn't watch El Generico. They mentioned that buster, I
off
guess,
the
on turnbuckle.
yeah.
Yep.
That was his move back then. Do you think they're gonna? It's like a once in a blue moon special occasion to use it, or is he gonna bring that back on a regular basis? Since it seems like it's more of a dangerous move.
I think he's going to use it when it calls for the person sitting in the audience to believe that that's what it takes to take somebody out.
Yeah.
Exactly why I think they brought it to this specific match.
That's exactly why he used it against Gunther, because nobody uses that move, and he wasn't expecting that move because Sammy himself never used it.
It kind of threw him off.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a once in a while thing, depending on.
It's a cool move, though.
It is.
Yeah.
I really thought he took Gunther out with that move. I thought he fucked him up, but it was so cool the way Gunther took it too. Like a guy of that size to take a move like that and to walk away from it. That's that's impressive.
I think the biggest thing that bugged me about that match was the whole, and I don't want to use the wrong term here, but the whole flopping about like a fish in the middle of the ring.
Oh yeah.
He was hulking up.
Yeah,
he was called hulking up.
He was zaning up, man. You just
he was
gotta.
his, but as far as Chad Gable goes, I think Sammy gives him the respect this time to say, "Yeah, you know what, dude, you helped me win it. You're my first competitor. Let's go. Let's have fun." Sammy gets over, obviously, keeps it for a while, and like you were saying, JJ, is down the road, he's just gonna get tired of it and turn on Sammy, and then a turn, and then all chaos breaks loose. Whether Sammy keeps it at that point or they hand it to Gable, which I wouldn't be opposed to. I mean, it depends what's going on at that point in time, but I think that's how it's going to go the first time. He's going to shake his hand and say, "You know what? You're my first opponent."
Totally got what you're saying on that one.
Pokemon, I choose you.
All right. Well, we're going to jump into the man that joined me on this voyage
adventure
right out the gate. You know him. You love him. You kind of respect him. Bubba, dude, get that goddamn topic and let's talk about it.
Oh, the match between Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Throw that shit up there, bro, because I know you got something. Well, that's Drew McIntyre, yeah, crying like a little baby.
Yeah. Well, this is him. He won right at this moment. This was his moment of winning. So tell us what happened from this moment.
From that moment on, the poor guy got a little too cocky. Let the Scottish get to him, and he went out back, decided to talk some of this to one CM Punk sitting at ringside, who actually minded his P's and Q's this entire time, which really surprised me. I mean, did he talk a little poop on the mic? Yeah, he did. But he called the match like a true professional. Made points, called what was going on. And then Drew went back there and goes, "This is mine. This is my moment." And Punk's like, "Then why are you paying attention to me? It's your moment. Go away." Well, he didn't throw the belt, but he kind of the belt in his face. And one thing led to another. Punk proceeded to beat one Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and I hate to say this, but Mr. Money in the Bank, Senior Money in the Bank, yes, as you see right there, cashed in, won the title, and then proceeded to bolt out of the ring before getting his hiney handed to him by one Drew McIntyre.
Whoa.
But I am not.
I'm going to pump the brakes on that one when it comes my turn. Continue, though. Continue.
I'm not upset.
Okay.
I wanted Drew to have his moment and be a champion for a while, but I see something bigger happening where when we go to Clash the Castle in Glasgow, Scotland, where my boy is from, I see him getting that title back. But that's just because I like Drew, but I also like Priest, and I like the fact that he's got this title, and I'm so conflicted.
Oh, yeah. And fans, if you've been following the Window Lickers Raw preview review show, you know for a fact that the first 6 episodes, Bubba Duke focused on Drew McIntyre.
I was hyping that boy.
Was doing. And this is where I come in when I said I want to pump the brakes on that, because
no, I know.
Drew had an opportunity to go after Damian, but Drew also ate a briefcase that was, I would say, coming in very hot. Damian Priest was in the moment and he chucked that thing in. And McIntyre's face was the end result. I honestly, when that happened, I thought that briefcase was going into the front row. I thought it was
going to sail.
Yeah, the way
I've seen it take off.
Yeah, it was an incredible match. Let's not miscue anything. This match was fantastic. It really showed. It showed that there's many avenues to go in the storyline of the landscape with Triple H at the helm, because this was another one where I was like, "Fuck." This to me means Seth is really hurt. Seth is going to be out. McIntyre is going to be the guy, which I'm not against.
Right?
Because
we weren't mad.
Yeah, I wasn't mad, but then when I seen Damian Priest, I was like, let's fucking go, because the dude deserves it. Damian Priest, for the past couple years, has been listening. Damian Priest has been taking anything has been told to him and running with it. He is becoming someone that, when I honestly first seen him, I was not impressed. I was like, another big guy, woody freaking who. But over this past year, Damian Priest has turned me. Yeah, exactly, Bulkster. He's turning me into a fan, and I really want to see this run with him. And I think that we're going to have some cracks that are going to be really forming.
Here's the other scenario too. You don't need a title on Drew McIntyre because he has such a feud going with CM Punk that having him take the belt off of Seth Rollins and then having Priest come in and do what he did to take that belt out of that equation, I think was mint. That's why I'm not upset about it, because if you look at the big picture.
Yeah. Yeah. And Chris Best chiming in. It's interesting that we had Drew telling Seth to not get distracted by the bloodline, but then Drew himself got distracted by Punk, only for Damian to capitalize. Yeah, and that was well written, well put together. OMD, what were your thoughts on that?
Again, I'm with you guys. Like, I loved it. Like, I knew for the foreseeable future, I believe we are losing Seth Rollins to go and rehab his injuries, probably negotiate his new deal.
Which should be deserved, I think.
And I think I want to touch on something you've brought up, because I know you think that Drew McIntyre is headed elsewhere.
I do.
I believe that, again, I'm hoping that Damian gets a solid run with the belt. And Drew can take some time off, whether it is to go elsewhere, but I think he's too focused with CM Punk, but Drew can renegotiate his deal.
He's still negotiating it, you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
I think that he signed it and it's just kayfabe at this point.
I don't. I really don't. I wish I could jump into that boat with you, but I just can't.
Am
Bulkster.
I delusional?
No, I'm not saying you're delusional. I'm just saying, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing,
No,
I
get
honestly
it.
think McIntyre, he's gonna go. He's gonna go try something else, and he's gonna succeed and build up his name so much so that it's another CM Punk where they're throwing money at him to come back and be a part of it. And it won't be a year-long thing that he's gone, but
No.
it's going to be a short little time where he leaves, he goes and does whatever. And who's to say he's not getting money off or movie offers also?
Right.
I mean,
Sure.
I'm going to pose this one to you because Drew does have a movie coming out with Batista.
okay.
But could we now see potentially crossover with TNA and have Drew go back there and win the title?
See, and that's where my mind's at. I've never really
Okay.
thought he would go to AEW. I honestly thought he would go if he leaves WWE, he's going there and to TNA, and he's going to go and run through and show everybody what he was, what made us be like, holy fucking shit! Look, that's Drew McIntyre coming down
right.
there, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything against what he is as a person, but right now he's in a large pond with giant fish that can do exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
TNA doesn't have guys on a consistent basis that are Drew McIntyre's size and Drew McIntyre's fucking ability. Yes,
Yeah,
there's
that's
great
scary.
talent over there. And I'm not spitting on any of that. But what I am saying is imagine him on your roster.
Oh, dude, the thing.
Wouldn't he be a gem that you want?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm wondering if that is going to lead, like, as we're alluding to, is this going to be crossover? Chris Best bringing it up. Drew versus Moose.
Yeah.
Is going to be a fantastic match. We've seen it before there.
And Moose would learn so much from Drew
Oh,
in a match like that. Bulkster, what is your thoughts on this whole Drew McIntyre and now Damian Priest running wild?
So I was excited about it. I mean, I didn't know where we was going when Drew decided, hey, he's going to go up there and mouth off CM Punk.
Yeah.
But then once CM Punk started taking off his arm bracer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's getting real now.
Yeah.
Then that music hit, and I see the smirk on CM Punk's face when he looks over and goes, yeah, this is what we're talking about. You're getting yours now, buddy. And when he won and he got out of the ring, I was first like, Damian Priest is now the world champion. That sounds weird in a way.
Yep. No, I see where you're at.
Not wrong.
100%.
I know he has the talent. I know he's popular. I feel we're going to get, for landscape wise, I feel we're going to get, as long as Judgment Day stays consistent, it's like the new version of the Bloodline, as in like a group of guys that he's going to be able to keep the belt because of interferences, distractions.
Yeah. I see where
that
you're
kind of
at.
thing.
Okay.
So I feel he's going to be powerful, but he's going to have help with his other comrades.
Balor's going to be a big play in that.
And Drew, I would hate to see him go. I would like to believe that WWE has shown that they're going to use him in the main event picture, where he can make money. I mean, I can't see them not offering him a contract. And it all depends on if he wants to do other stuff. But but the whole CM Punk rivalry, that's going to be fire. He's going to sell so much merchandise in that area. That feud would be fire. and then he can look on, and that's still main event. You don't have to be, unless he's only worried about having the title, and that's it. If he's worried about, producing a main event
I think
story,
I think the title run during the lockdown really kind of aided him in a different way than any of us can understand.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pose this one because he did get his moment in front of the fans winning the title. Do we see Drew McIntyre in front of his home country at June 15th at Clash at the Castle in that world title match?
but if that's the case, wouldn't that mean I thought his contract is right after Mania. So
I'm not sure.
If he continues on for a few more pay-per-views, I would assume that he signed a contract.
It may also be contractual obligations that he's signed on before his contract expires or has expired.
Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't he I'm not going to say freshly back, not weeks back, but he's only been back for a few months, right?
Something
or
like
am I
that,
off
yeah.
on that?
Yeah. But then again, you also, again, as Bubba alluded to earlier, you have the draft. Do we see him go to SmackDown and challenge Cody?
Jesus, right?
I don't want that one yet.
No.
And
I want Drew. I don't know what I want from Drew yet, honestly.
Right. He's on that edge of we want big things, but it's hard to pick where we want him to go because there's so much options for him.
Well, yeah, and plus, even Terry said, honestly, this CM Punk storyline, he's gonna sell so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be, people want to see that, especially how Drew, if he's with WWE and he's gonna continue on, he's gonna be able to turn this storyline into, I'm going to beat the hell out of CM Punk when he comes back. And I'm not going to have any remorse. And coming from a guy like Drew McIntyre, I believe it. I can buy into that.
Here's the thing, though. If you guys were actually watching that bit where he was beaking with the title to Punk, he says, come after this, I'll end you. Come after me, you're done.
Yeah.
It'll be the last thing you do.
So I guess the best question to ask is, do we like Drew better in the chase or better as a champion?
I like the chase.
I
like Drew. I mean, eventually, do I want to see him get a title? Of course, he's putting in the work.
Yeah.
But Drew hungry, Drew vicious, going after a title is a Drew that sells tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, that when you're not putting Drew in that type of mentality and that fighting just state he has,
right?
When you're not doing that, you're not doing justice to Drew McIntyre,
right?
I mean, even though I hate his entrances, tell me who else would go well with swords, with a sword entrance, with a bagpipe being played, Drew McIntyre. Who? What'd you just say?
Raiders. Viking Raiders.
Get out of town, Terry Bulkster. All right, fans. We're gonna dive into the very last subject, and for this one, we have to talk about it. He is the new champion. He is the man.
It was beautiful.
He is Cody Rhodes.
Did you say he's beautiful?
It was beautiful.
Oh, I think you said he was.
Storyline wise, it was amazing. They really did a great job on. I mean, fuck, that main event was the main event of fucking the year, man. I seen somebody put a video up. If you go back to the pin and you look when Cody gets him up, if you look at Roman smiles, and for the guy you're going against, you're taking away, you're ending his streak. For him to smile Was that more out of relief that he doesn't have to fucking go show up tomorrow? Or was he, I honestly think he really felt the moment that was happening. I mean, how could you not? I mean, as a wrestling fan, I'm not saying a Cody fan, I'm saying just as a wrestling fan, for that story to get finished, for that family to get closure on something that has eluded the ones who have done it the best. I mean, tell me who better than old Dusty Rose on a mic? Who better than that, OMD? You tell me, Daddy.
Who better than that? Canyon.
Oh,
Jesus.
OMD, if it wouldn't break my laptop, I was going to throw my remote.
I'm going to be honest, man. I had tears welling up in my eyes last night. I had goosebumps. It was right in the feels. Yeah. Such an emotional moment. Yeah, to see the guys like Randy Orton, LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, all of them out there, to put them up on their shoulders, to have guys like John Cena and The Undertaker come and assist you.
Yeah.
Yeah. KO, Randy Orton. Yeah. Usos is there.
You know, he gave the belt to his mom.
He did.
You know?
Yeah.
He pulled the Ultimate Warrior without the drinking and bar scene.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to lighten it up a little bit, you know. But yeah, you're right. He did. And I mean, to think about with that woman, you know, she didn't get to see old Dusty Rose get that belt, you know, but to see her son do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and now the potential for her other son to do it this coming Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a stretch if he's able to do that one. You're really going to have to keep me drunk for me to buy that one. But, you know, it's what really threw me off about that. We seen all of that celebration and there was no surprise. No. I mean, that would have been the perfect time to shock the world with something. Somebody coming out. I mean, even if the rumors were true and it was MJF, think about it. You had Gunther who ended a run at 666. You could have easily had MJF. Now, Terry, shut up and just follow, or you're going to get goddamn muted. So you end that on that. So Gunther invokes MJF. MJF shows up and he's like, "I'm the real devil. Adam Cole's just playing." And then, you know, you could have spun off of that. Now, Terry, go ahead, entertain the fans with the mouth sewage that you're about to say.
I love it. I want MJF to be there, but I'm like, I just laugh because you're corresponding to 666 with MJF because I know he has a devil thing.
Exactly, but that's how you could have brought him in.
Gunther summoned him.
when the Undertaker really buried people for so many years, I can believe Gunther can invoke MJF into a locker room.
When the lights went down before that first bell hit, that's what I was waiting on. That's what I was fully preparing for. Yeah. Was I expecting it? No. But was I fully prepared to hear, "I'm better than you, and you know it," over the speakers? Oh, yeah.
You're telling me Philly wouldn't have lost their nut if that would have happened? That place would have they would have set it on fire. It would have been like if
the Eagles won the
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There would have been riots. It'd have been Vancouver all over again, OMD.
Yes, it would have.
Bubba Duke, let us know what you're thinking with this new era.
Happy. I like OMD. I was so emotionally invested into this storyline that when he got the pin, I woke up the house. Like my mom banged on the floor. The neighbor banged on the basement wall.
The fuck up, Bubba Duke.
Yeah, I turned into a little school kid again. Like I was watching Hogan beat Andre the Giant. Like I couldn't believe I was crying. Like that's probably why my eyes hurt, because I was crying last night that this guy finally got something his family couldn't get for how many years.
Yeah.
And then to call out Trips to come out and acknowledge him as the guy that's been running the ship now. And hey, thank you for letting me come back. You know,
Thank you for
that was a moment.
For smashing my throne.
Exactly. But I mean, you know, they made their peace about that. He admits he was being childish about it and just did what he
I would
did.
still
And
fuck with him though with it. I'd
too.
call him into my office every day and be like, "So, you want to take out this chair? I've sat on it."
Right, just to mess with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 100%
Chris
it
saying
was
that there's
definitely
a surprise tonight. Go ahead, Bubba. Just keep going when I do things like that.
I know. I think he deserves it, and it's gonna look good on the business because he's
Very
a huge,
true.
huge draw, huge. Because honestly, AEW when he was part of AEW, they were coming to Canada, and he was on the card, and I wanted to buy tickets just to see Cody Rhodes. I didn't give two shits who else was on the card. It said Cody Rhodes. Okay, cool. I want to go. I'm sorry, but if he comes to this town, if they ever come close to this town, and it's like say a house show, and he's on the card, I'll sell my kid to get tickets to see Cody Rhodes.
I'm going to see Cody Rhodes.
Nobody cares about you. Shut up down there.
So hey, I'll take a picture for you.
Cody Rhodes he's going to see Cody Rhodes from his couch cushion.
Yeah,
tonight on Raw.
Well, live show in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, you are going to that, aren't you?
Yeah, Fort Wayne.
That's cool. No, good.
I got a buddy going to Raw next Monday in Montreal.
Sweet. Yeah, honestly, I like a lot of Cody Rhodes. I liked a lot of the character changes he's done done throughout the years. Stardust was definitely it was an out there character, and it's so funny to me when you going back and look at that, and you know Vince. We all know we know how he thinks when it comes to a wrestler just on a judge a book by its cover, and you know when Cody was in that face paint, he was like, that little bastard ain't ever gonna get this title, you know. And then Cody goes out and he does something that not a lot of people thought was possible. And there was a lot of people who were saying that during the time that when it was rumored he was going to be coming back to the WWE, that he was going to fail. They were hoping he would fail. They were saying horrible shit. I was at the Chicago show, and honestly, the reason I wanted to go to that show was because Cody was going to be there and CM Punk. And those were the two reasons I wanted to go to that AEW show. And to see Cody take his belt off, hand it to a kid in the crowd, and then the crowd just yell at that kid until that kid threw it back. It was like, dude, I felt energy. I told my brother-in-law right next to me, I'm like, I'll fucking go down there and hold that belt, and I'll tell every one of them they can kiss my fucking ass because this shit ain't going to happen. I ain't never going to throw, you know, to me, Cody Rhodes represents a lot of cool shit when it comes to wrestling, thinking outside the box.
Yes.
Not relying on specific things. Yes, do they bring up his father? Of course they do. His fucking father was the American dream.
Yes.
How could you not bring him up? Do some people think that he's privileged in the fact that that's his dad, so he gets the extra advantages? I don't think so. I think Cody Rhodes puts in the work. I think Cody Rhodes knows what it takes to get to that top and to stay at that top. And he just dethroned a guy who has been doing it. I mean, give Roman Reigns all the fucking credit we can, because God damn it, Roman Reigns held on to a title for not just a year, years. Like the dude he's a beast. He's somebody who I don't know anybody else who could have done that in this era.
No.
Not a single person. I mean, I would have loved to see AJ do it, but
did anybody see the footage with Roman and Paul as Cody was still in the ring celebrating with Roman hugging Paul at the top of the ramp.
No.
There was fan footage released of Roman hugging Paul between the XL last night as they were leaving the arena. And I mean, we know that Roman is taking significant time off, whether he's going to do a movie, whether it's because he's on the oral chemo for his leukemia.
Yeah.
So this leads me to wonder what happens with the bloodline now. Do we now see Jimmy step into more of a solo role? Do we see Solo as that next champion because he hasn't had a shot at any type of a title?
Do we see more bloodline members show up? Because all of the announcers alluded to the ones that you don't know about. You know, I mean, there's so much that is going to happen in the next few pay-per-views that I'm honestly really excited about where the WWE is right now and where they could go storyline wise, just new champions. I mean, Bulkster, where are you on this?
Oh, with the Cody having the title?
Yeah, with everything, man.
Like I said, I think it's going to be an awesome run. Cody's going to be a fighting champion, so we ain't going to have this once in a blue moon. We'll probably get a title shot every month.
Yeah.
And some great matches. I think they're alluding that he's going to be there at Raw tonight. I think most of them are going to be there at Raw. And he said that we might see. He alluded on the Pat McAfee show today that people were asking him about who he's going to challenge first, and he goes, "Tune in tonight." So who knows? Maybe we'll find out what's going on next with it. But
I'm
we're
looking
getting close to Raw.
Yeah, we are getting close to Raw. So OMD, why don't you let them know where they can find your mug?
Well, thank you, JJ. The people can find me visually in about 3 minutes' time over at Turnbuckle Studios, doing the Raw Patrol with Carl Carafel, Chris Best, Chris Parrish, Bubba Duke, and yourselves in the chat.
Yes.
They can catch me visually again tomorrow night at 8:05 with Carl Carafel and Chris Best on Turnbuckle Talk. Thursday with the gentleman in the upper left corner, Bubba Duke, on the Boar's Nest. If they want to find me socially, they can hit me up on Facebook at Daniel Hrycyk, HRYCYK. On the Boar's Nest channel, YouTube at Bubba OMD. On Snapchat, One Man Dynamic, capitals OM&D. On Twitch, OMD17, and on Discord, OMD6370.
All right, OMD is out there. Hit him up and let him know. Bulkster, you chicken parm son of a gun, let us know.
Just go look me up on TikTok at the Bulkster Show, Facebook Bulk Bogan, and YouTube Bulkster Show.
There you are.
I am quick because I got 2 minutes and I got to switch to TikTok to watch my fucking wrestling.
Yeah, at the bottom, there's a ticker going with everybody's stuff, so you can go and hit them up. Bubba Duke, let them know.
Catch me Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at YouTube, Bubba OMD. Again, that's Bubba OMD. And the Twitch has me at Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke. That is the best place to check me out when I'm not here, because I do a lot of streaming over there solo with nobody, just chilling and doing shooting games, generally speaking, or Diablo. That's what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to get the hell out of here because I'm going to the next show.
There you go, everybody. Thank you. It is I, Joshua Joseph, and I'm here to let you know you can always hit me up when the places that you see me. If you found me and you found those little clicks and links, you're ahead of the game. So good job on that. And when we catch you on the next one, we will have a more normal review show. It won't be it has been the past couple weeks. We know Mania is a big thing. So, again, catch us on the next one.
Let me talk to you, Bulkamaniacs.